Welcome back to the garage, folks. My name is Patrick. You're watching Garage Rats, where we build junk into something that's kind of somewhat cool. This is the 95 Civic hatch that we've been building for about a year and a half now. I picked this up for 350 bucks. I picked this up from a friend of mine who used it as a parts car for his SI, and it still had enough parts on it to get mobile. We're gonna start today's video on the throttle bracket. I bought a new hybrid racing throttle cable, and for some reason it didn't fit. If I put the throttle cable on at its maxed out setting, the throttle would be cracked open, and that's not cool. So we're gonna modify our throttle bracket as opposed to asking questions of who and why, just to get an answer of you need to buy the hybrid racing components for the throttle cable. To hell with that. We're gonna modify our K-28 before we spend 65 bucks, and I'll show you how. Super, the idea, the concept is just dumb simple. So I'll show you what we're gonna do to modify that, and then maybe, just maybe, it'll help with your build. So stay tuned. You're watching Garage Rats. Alright, so the problem that we're having with the throttle cable is that the way this sits in the car, this one's too far away from the throttle body. This one is not, however. We need to move this way, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it section like here, so this whole piece, and we're going to move it in line, and we're going to whack this one off because we don't need cruise control anymore. So we're going to start by chopping this one off, and then we'll cut it and then move it to where it's even, and that should get us where we need to be. So while we wait for that bracket to cool, we need to start worrying about our radiator. So the radiator it has the shroud and then the radiator, and there's a gap between that. So CSF sends you some of this felt material, or like this soft foam, and you have to use that to fill the gaps, otherwise the radiator's shroud is just going to suck air between the radiator and the shroud, and it's not going to pull it through the radiator. But while we're there, we also have this pigtail for our Spall radiator fan, and this will help wire it. And then we also have this 200 amp relay for our fan. Now, when it comes to fans, you have to have a high amp relay because you're drawing a lot of current for those high air CFM fans. The more current you pull, the worse it's going to be. Something like that. Garbage. All this is garbage. Now, since they didn't give me enough to do this stupid foam thing, I go get some thick gap foam. Window foam seal, but I gotta do large gap apparently. Instead of going to the store, we're gonna work on this this bracket here. So now it's nice and cool. So we got our piece. Come on in. Alright, so we got this bracket. The bracket itself needs to have a piece that's kind of like that. So before, this piece was here, right? So this is the other one, and it was kind of like up here. So originally I think I had a piece of metal, like it was kind of like, I don't remember how it went. It kind of went like that, and then this piece was like that. But instead of trying to figure all that out from these pieces of metal, what we're going to do is we're just going to bolt it to the car, and then we're going to use this on the cable and figure out where it wants to be, and we'll just fill the gap with metal. Come with me and you will see a fab project that uses imagination. Alright, so this is our piece. We're just going to set that right there for a second. Alright, so now these two screws right here, these are our things. Okay, so take our bracket, something like that. Get your other machine. We want our throttle piece to be like here. Maybe a little at an angle. So how do we get it to be here? So So then we're gonna hold it here. My fuel line is barely in the way here. Ideally it would be like somewhere around here. Straight off the bottom here, cut straight up. And then we'll add this piece back at whatever width that is. Grab a marker. So it just comes up. Something back in there. Alright, so let's take this off, let's go do some more cuts. Now it's hot again. The inside's getting hot too. A piece of 26. Let that cool. We'll be back. Alright, we took a quick break to go get some foam. So what they were using was sponge, not foam. The fan just killed itself. We'll go fix that, and we'll get back to the radiator or the, you know, whatever. We'll go back to the ADHD thing. It's gonna take a lot more time, I think, than the radiator. So let's just go ahead and start getting this going. This piece is not true to width. It's kind of oblong, so we're gonna try and work around that. We got one side which is just over 26, and one side which is 30. So I'm gonna try and true this up as best as possible here. After some cutting, welding, grinding, etc., etc., this is where we sit. And as you can see, we did some marks there, because the idea is this thing's going to kind of sit like right there at a little bit of an angle, and that's where we're going to weld it, because right there it is not engaged. If I pull any bit more, it's engaged. We're going to weld that like right there, and that should get us home. Well, Smash Mouth once said, once the hits start coming, they don't stop coming. Shit. This changes a lot. Like a lot. Potentially. Son of a bitch. In case you didn't notice, my throttle body broke. Jesus. This camera's about to break on a case of accidental getting chucked across the garage. So it has become clear to me, like, if you look, you can see the thread in there that's loose. I think this is because of over tightening and stuff. I'm pretty sure this thing was already cross-threaded at one point from whatever situation. Yeah, we're gonna do what we can to see if we can maybe figure out how to finish the mount at least, and then maybe look into a replacement throttle body. Maybe one, see, I can't do bigger because I already bought a lot of shit for it, so I gotta find an OEM one. Damn it. So I'll worry about that later, but that is a showstopper for us right now on that front. So switch gears to the radiator and get that in, and we'll deal with the rest at a later date. Get the radiator done. The throttle cable bracket works. The throttle cable bracket works. We just need to finish up these welds here. I gotta figure out something to do with that. What we'll probably do is probably try to put a bracket here behind this bolt and then come forward with it. That way we don't have to buy a whole new throttle body. That's gonna be for another day because I am dying. So we'll keep this going. Hey Google, what's the weather for today?
Today in Mesa, it'll be mostly sunny with a forecasted high of 114.
What the f***? What the f***? It's gonna kill me. That's real. What the f*** is this world?
Alright, so it's been about a week since the last clips that you saw. It took me that much time just to figure out what I'm gonna do about the whole broken throttle body thing, and to also recover from the heat from last weekend. So it's time to do it again. Time to induce misery again. We already got the fan going. I reached out to Caesar, the RSX Connect in Arizona here. He's kind of the Grim Reaper. Hi Caesar. He hooked me up with a new throttle body. This one even comes with an Acuity throttle position sensor. So we gotta move some of these sensors, like the Honda 4-bar sensor, and then the rest of these we'll keep in a box for safekeeping, just in case one of these has failed. We'll go ahead and get stripped down, we'll finish our bracket, and then hopefully we'll have some throttle. Just a little update for you. Oh no! Oh man, the Acura badge broke off. Dumb! Dumb! Man, I really like the OEM look of it. That sucks. Yeah, it just broke off. So I guess we'll put this somewhere cool. That we'll just clean it off and maybe we'll paint it or something. But meh, it sucks. Alright, so we got the new throttle body on. We swapped over our 4-bar map sensor, and the rest are sitting on the shelf just in case we need them. If you've been paying attention, you'll also notice that something else was done since the last video, and that is our up pipe over here. This is our temporary exhaust system for the back of the turbo. I just don't want it blowing on the booster over here and like melting crap, so we just made this little diverter just to divert it up. It's obviously, we're not cutting a hole in the hood, so don't get excited. But this is just kind of meant to like help keep the hot gases away from it, because when we get to the point where we start heating things up, it's gonna get a little warm. We're gonna go ahead and finish out our throttle bracket now so we can wrap up this whole throttle cable thing. Alright, so while we let that bracket cool, we're going to go ahead and make our upper radiator hose and just get in a better position to start this thing and let it cool. See that silver line? That's how you ruin a $50 fitting straight away. I just cross-threaded a $50 vibrant fitting. That's new. So now we're gonna go buy another one. It's at STHQ because they close at 2 and it's almost 1. Remind me, we also gotta go to Walmart and get a new fan. Mine broke. Alright, so we went to STHQ. They didn't have a vibrant fitting, but we did get a Frigola. If you know anything about fittings, you're gonna know why my face looks like this right now. I hate myself a little bit right now, but you know what? We're not gonna think about it. We're just gonna use it. We can't screw this one up because if we do, I'm probably gonna have to like I don't know, I'm gonna have to do something different because this sucks. Alright, I think that's all that one's got. Alright, got the throttle cable installed. It looks happy where it's at. We got our new throttle body back on. We got TPS set up. We need to do that still, but and we got our upper coolant hose ready to rock. I think this will be okay. I don't know how the 90s are going to do. I'm really hoping that these are not going to be a problem, both upper and lower. We'll find out. My thought is that this is what they're meant for. So if they don't do what they're supposed to do, then why the hell were they existing? So I have good faith that they're gonna work, but we'll see. I think this is gonna be a good stopping point for this episode because this is like a two-part kind of thing. So I'm gonna stop it here, and then in the next video, we're gonna pick up some of the last bits that we need to do to get this thing running on its own, which is we gotta get the relay here happy, and we have to also get the lights and stuff like that also working. So that's gonna be in the next video. We're gonna start some of the wiring and go that direction. So namely the cooling system, because we need to let it bed in and you know, really warm up and go through its paces and do the thing and test the cooling system. So that'll be the next video. Thanks for watching. You know, make sure you like the video if you liked it. Yeah, and stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you then.